Mr. Data, we have some corrosion. Driver board from a Star Trek The Next Gen, and somebody has replaced all these caps. You guys know I really dislike that 100% because most of the time you end up with this kind of Mickey Mouse stuff back here. A lot of through-hole repair. Somebody really didn't know what they're doing. At least they tried to reflow the solder on the regulator. And here's the problem, the main problem with this board right now is C2 has leaked, and you can see that it is corroded all of these components. This LM339 corrosion over here on the diode, and I think 270 ohm resistors for the zero cross circuit. Corrosion down here. You can see how corrosion gets under the solder mask and just takes off from there. Once it's got a beachhead, I'll have to take this fuse holder off to clean this stuff up. U1 looks like it's got a little bit of damage. I can't, yeah, you can see this trace is damaged right here. So it just makes the job a little more fun today. Just finished up this Star Trek The Next Generation driver board, CPU, and DCS soundboard. And on the DCS soundboard, I replaced 4 caps there, 1 cap over there. These 2 big black ones that are the 10K filter caps for power. And that was all that this board needed. On the MPU board, I installed NVRAM, a new low voltage reset generator, the cap at C31, and the header at J210. And you can see I've abated a significant amount of alkaline damage on this board. No traces required in reconstruction, just sand down to the bare copper, conformal coat, repopulate with these 10K resistors and these 4 chips, so ULN 2803 and 3 LM339s. The corrosion had gotten underneath at least one of the headers at the bottom of the board, so I have removed those, cleaned it up, and reinstalled new headers. Driver board, another corrosion victim, at this time at the hands of cap C2 that you see in the picture, and it corroded not only itself, but the 7812, the 2 components behind the heatsink, everything to the left of the heatsink, even underneath the fuse clip, which I had to remove, and I have abated all that corrosion. And it corroded U1, the LS374. There was a fuse blown at F103. I've replaced the headers for the power and the general illumination all the way around. This is the board where somebody had already replaced all these 15K capacitors, which you know I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is. So, I'm not in the business of repairing what is working. So let's check the switch test for the CPU and make sure all those traces are working. And there you go. And solenoid test. And we'll make it run. That was a motor, a gun motor. And some of the solenoids on Star Trek The Next Generation are driven by the 8 driver board that's in the upper right corner of the head. So those won't show. I'll be darned, it looks like we have a issue with the green solenoid circuit. So I'll have to check that out. Just the lamp out. And we'll do lamps and flashers at the same time. Outstanding. So let's go figure out what's going on with this green solenoid lamp circuit, and I'll be right back. And we are back in business. That ended up being a, I'll show you in just a second. I'm just holding down the advance button. That ended up being a discontinuity between the via at the tip of my finger and pin 16 of the LS374. And so I put a small jumper on the back of the board, and this one is good to go. Thank you so much for sending them.